The highest rated online radio network in the world. SoFloRadio.com. You're listening to The Spot.
Fellas, I'm ready to get up and do my thing. I want to get into it, man, you know.
Let me tell you something, man. You the everyday common folk working people out there. These laborers. You play the game when you're working for them.
Who he talking to like that?
Nasty.
Talking to your ass.
Damn, y'all look good in the government check. Yeah.
And now, The Spot on SoFloRadio.com. Bitches.
That one there is for Broadway. Talk to him.
Well, thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here, and it's also a blessing to be here among such great people, to be able to pull this positive energy so we could bring change to our community. I really appreciate this.
Now, what sparked it? What basically got you? Because you've been doing this for a while now, as far as rehabilitating the community and doing things to uplift.
Well, it started a while back, maybe 1995. I was working at the Miami Herald and got terminated for going to the Million Man March.
Was that right?
Became a blessing to me.
Right.
Because when I got terminated from them, I was able to sue them. In the process of suing them, I got some more money to start up a laundromat, because I know every person of color feel good about themselves once they dressed up and they clean.
Right, exactly.
So that was my ultimate goal, make my people feel good about themselves. Because if they feel good about themselves, they'll do good.
Right. So in doing so, you ended up going from a laundromat to basically owning a majority of the block.
Well, you know, when you do good things, people reward you.
Right.
Believe me, they do. The young lady who Beck's Barbershop, what's now known as Broadway Barbershop, I was able to acquire that property because she said, Mr. Broadway, I see you don't allow nobody to sell drugs in front of your property. Would you like to have the barbershop as well with the same conditions? And I told her, well, right now my money looking real funny, and it ain't no joke. It's funny right now. She said, all I just want you to do is guarantee me that they won't be selling no drugs in front of the property. And whatever you give me, I will accept.
Wow.
What? That claw.
Uh-huh.
As long as it ain't there, my dad will be proud, because her dad had just passed.
Oh, okay.
And after he passed, she wanted something positive to come. And so his dad could feel, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think went ahead and got it and put somebody inside there and let them work it. And that was able to somebody get a job. And what really made me feel good about it is because every year, before school go back in, to keep the crime down in my neighborhood, I let all the young guys get their hair cut.
Okay.
So the lady don't have to beat the man over the head.
Right.
You're not doing nothing for your son.
Right.
You ain't doing nothing for your son.
Right.
Nobody got to rob nobody
Exactly.
to get his hair cut.
Right.
Tell my barbers this month free. All I ask y'all to do is take care of the kids in the community.
Right.
One hand wash the other, and we all win.
Now that's like an ideal that you would imagine that we all have, but of course there's that crab in the bucket mentality at times, and it almost cost you your life at one point. How do you kind of combat that and still feel like I'm still gonna give back? I'm still gonna reach out to those.
Well, I feel like this here. I know what the man himself put me here to do. I feel like I do. And my thing is, of course, much is given, much is required.
Right.
And with them doing what they did to me, I got shot 4 times. You know what I'm saying? And the man still took care of me.
Right.
In spite of all that there, he still looked out for me. He still made sure I'm all right. Of course, you know, my fingers don't work like they used to, but hey, some people don't have fingers now.
Right.
You know, I'm still blessed to have them, whether they work or not. I still got them on my hand.
Well, from the footage that we got here, you were putting the fingers to work. It's a real, like, you really took it upon yourself to rebuild the community or continue to build the community. You brought artists out there. You brought Winwood to Broadway. Like, explain that to him.
Well, it goes back to a guy by the name of Marvin Wheats. He was the one that actually painted the first mural. That's where the 4 M's come from. Miami Magic Music Mural. Betty Wright is on one wall. Trick Daddy's on the wall. Luke Skywalker, we had to put him because he beat the Supreme Court.
Right.
And, a lot of church-going people, I asked them, if y'all going to block the street down and make it look good, you know what I'm saying? Why don't we take a picture here and pray together, Right. I feel like prayer together, you know what I'm saying? Everybody working for the same goal really make life easy. And it's not me by myself. I may be spearheading it, but I know for a fact, I would go so far as to say 80% of the work that's actually getting done is from the people from the community. The biggest lie they ever told us, we don't get along.
Right.
I just thank them for their help, and I want y'all to know I appreciate you. Just like I said when Obama first became president, and the Spanish was saying, "Oh, he don't have this right, he don't have that right." I snatched the mic from them and told them, "Listen, first we got to respect him as a man.
Right.
Second, he's our president, and if we don't respect him, how do we expect any other country to respect him?
Right.
Respect us." So I look at always giving respect because I'm standing on somebody else's shoulder.
Right. Exactly.
Hopefully one day somebody will be able to stand on my shoulder. And by that time, hopefully we'll be where we should be, back on top with Rosewood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that. I like to see our money circulate in our community at least 25 times.
That's the goal. I mean, I would imagine that's the goal because, things like Black Wall Street, people lose sight of, at that time, that was making billions of dollars in the 1920s, So it is possible, but we just can't keep on, sending out the money outside of the community. It has to have a machine within itself before it could venture out and do different other things.
I totally agree. And the reason why a lot of things like that happen because we don't know. The younger generation don't know as much as they should know.
Right.
And if they know better, 90% of the time they're going to do better.
Right.
How many people actually know, you know what I'm saying, D.A. Dorsey used to own, you know what I'm saying?
Miami.
I mean, he owned the whole thing.
Right.
Really?
The islands and everything.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now you got right there at this point, right now, the most richest people in the entire world live here.
Mm-hmm.
Then it ain't Dubai.
Right.
Like everybody wants you to believe.
Right.
They live right here.
Mm-hmm.
And we can throw a rock at them. That's just how close they is to us.
Right. Exactly.
And a lot of them look like us.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want nobody to know they look like us because guess what? You heard what happened to Clinton when he told him his best friend was black.
Mm-hmm.
Scandal, behind scandal, behind scandal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, what are some events Is there going to be a Art Basel situation where you could have a whole lot of industry people? Because I know Hialeah was doing something similar, where they're trying to expand Miami as a place of art, And I kind of got the same feeling that you were doing the same thing, but I wanted you to speak.
We're going to be doing the exact same thing November the 27th and November the 28th.
Okay.
Everybody don't want to do nothing with Black Friday.
Right.
You could take the drive through Broadway from 62nd to 71st Street and look at all the murals that'll be along the wall all the way down.
Wow.
That way you could get a sense of pride of yourself to see and ask, who is Trick Daddy? Who is this person? Who is that person? The names are going to be there.
Right.
With
little bios and stuff?
It's going to be right there to the bottom. And also, I'm planning on having an art gallery right there. It'll be at 6701 Northwest Broadway Avenue.
Okay.
As you do know, when you a man of color, they want to stick you with a number.
Right.
But if you back up, 1922, Jefferson, Lincoln, Monroe, all those names was already over there.
Right.
But when we moved over there, they said, nah, we don't want them to feel good about themselves.
Uh-huh.
Let's get them a number. That's why they confuse you when you go to a little bit up north.
Right.
They got all them names, so if you don't know exactly where you at,
Right.
you ain't going.
Exactly.
So that's how they keep us out. And give you a number to dumb you down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time for us to step up as a people to stop allowing rich people to dumb us down. It's not so much of like everybody want everybody to believe, oh, it's the black against the white. No, it's the rich against the poor, period. you know. And they always want to play that race card against us. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to
cause
coach.
more confusion.
I used to coach football. And the Jamaicans didn't want to block for the Haitians. The Haitians didn't want to block for the black. And I had to explain to them. When the police come, he don't say Jamaican. He don't say Haitian. He say, nigga, get flat.
Mm-hmm.
So now we all in the same bucket. We need to act accordingly and work together. Of course, after that, we been winning since. Because everybody realized all they did was just drop you off on a different spot.
Mm-hmm.
We all come from the same place.
Right.
And as long as we allow them to keep on using us, then who we got to blame? You can't blame somebody when we spending more money than any nationality together. Combined, we might be spending more than all of them put together.
Right, exactly.
But then we want to complain about he not giving you a job. He not giving you this. He not giving you that. Well, hell, they didn't give it to me either.
Right.
I come right out of Lincoln Field, 2 families in a 1-bedroom apartment. I said to myself, Ma, this ain't going to keep on working, man, because I can't do this. So when we did move across the street into the house, I'm saying to myself, now this feel a little bit better, but I know it could be better.
Right.
And I started saving my money. A lot of guys at the Miami Herald would tell you about me. They say, that don't make no sense for somebody to be that cheap. I said, listen, if we're making $23 an hour and we don't have a home of our own, then why?
What's the point? Right.
So I start showing everybody that I come in contact with how to buy a house. This is what you need to do. I'll hold your hand and tell you actually do it. You ain't got to read the paperwork. I'll do that.
Right.
I'll do the whole 9 yards because I look at it like this here. If you got something, I ain't got to worry about you bothering my stuff.
Right. That's a good way to look at it. I mean, it's unselfish but selfish at the same time.
I mean, you got to help somebody in order for you to get help.
Right.
No man does it by himself.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? And I strongly believe that. You know, I didn't get where I'm at because somebody had to show me. You know, okay, I may have starved myself like the guys at the Miami Herald say.
Right.
Man, you bought a 100-pound bag of rice and you ain't gonna eat nothing other than that. We making this good money, man. You
Right.
shouldn't treat yourself that bad. I say, but I got a goal.
Right.
I want to own some property. The man who owns the land makes the rules.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, a lot of church-going people get upset with me for the next phrase I'm finna say. But I just believe they gave it the Bible and took the land.
But I don't see how that could put you in a situation where you get upset about that. Because look around, you know, you'll thump a Bible, but you still paying rent somewhere. I mean, it's not a property that you own, so it can't be seen as you blaspheming. I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate because that's what frustrates me about people of color. It's like there's nothing wrong with having faith, but at the same time, the people who are successful in this world, you know, they don't have to be conniving and backstabbing. You got to be sharp, but they don't solely lean on one thing. They have multiple things that they strive for, whether it's education, you know, learning about the hieroglyphs. I was watching this old show. I was in some waiting room watching this old show from the 60s, it looked like, and they were, I guess, in Egypt. No, it was a museum, and they had a lot of Egyptian artifacts, you know, tombs and all this other stuff. And they're sitting here and they're like, "This is our history. This is where we come from. Look at the hieroglyphs." And I'm sitting here and I'm like, "This is a show that I'm guessing Heart to Heart. Remember that show? Heart to Heart from back in the day.
Yeah,
it was one of those shows, and they're plainly saying, like, this is our history. They understand it's not about the black and white thing. They understand, they meaning Caucasians, know that the origin and the birth of the human race comes from Al-Kibulan, Africa, you know. So if they understand it and they know that it's more than just color, it's an understanding of where you come from as a human being. Now, did they take some of the beliefs and rituals, like, you know, each one teach one, you know, the barter system? Did they use that? Not necessarily. They more or less said, "Oh, keep all this, and you, like you just said, you hold this little book here, and, you know, read every page 100 times over, and things will change for you. But I'm gonna hold this for you. I'm gonna hold this land."
Remind me when I was watching cartoons. 1 for you, 2 for me.
Right.
1 for you, 4 for me. You know, if you watch those cartoons, they'll tell you a lot if you actually pay attention.
Now, I watched them recently because you never really thought about it like Tom and Jerry, like the maid was a mammy. You know, you never really thought about it until you look at it as a grown up. It's like, wow, they were blatantly like the cannibals. The cannibals were always the black people with the red lips and the big old bulging eyes and the love. That always tripped me out. But we definitely appreciate you falling through the spot and look forward to you falling through some more with, you know, more events that are going to be happening on Broadway in South Florida, period. Because I know that's something that you really are pushing, which is education and understanding the history of South Florida.
That's one of the reasons why next to my laundromat, I allowed them to basically have cold fever, teaching the people how to do computer chips, apps, and all that. You know what I'm saying? So my people and the people in the area around there will be able to get a job making $40,000 a year,
Right.
starting with a record. So I'm just trying to eliminate all the excuses that my brothers keep coming to me saying, oh, I can't do this because of this. Okay, well, guess what? I would allow this lady to come in here, use my space, basically for nothing, just so people in my community will be better off than they was yesterday.
Now, what are your views on that? I really want to hear this before we go out. As far as the sense behind like somebody having a criminal record. You know, if it's been double-digit years that you haven't even committed an offense even close to that, but you're still being penalized for that. Like, what are your views on that? Is it more or less like, you did what you did, now you got to deal with it, or
No, I totally disagree with it, and I do get very upset with it because I feel like they're using it to keep everybody that would do something good for somebody else in a box. You know what I'm saying? I would tell anybody that done went through something and have not gotten out of it and they still using it, find out about your governor. He could give you a pardon. He could make sure it don't even show up on your driver license record. When I went to Rick Scott inauguration, his first one, they said, well, you're not a Republican. I'm like, I'm a businessman. And if it's going to be some business, I need to be there. That's why I danced with Rick Scott's mom to ask her the simple question. The money that's designated for my area, can you talk to your son and tell him to make sure it stay in my area? Just simple question. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, like I know, if you talk to somebody's mom, when the mom tell you, it gets stuck in the brain.
right?
You know, I could tell you all day long not to go left, but when your mama say don't go left,
You gonna make sure not to go left. Now, so you ended up going to the Small Business Expo they had going on, I think last year at the convention center.
yes.
What are your views of Scott? I mean, I know a lot of people, you probably know him as well, that work in the county and have county jobs rather, and they're feeling the pinch and the effects of Scott since he's been in office. What are your views on his time, his tenure as governor?
If I had say so in it, I would make sure he's not in office. If I had any say so, because he's not doing nothing for nobody but his personal small little group. It is what it is.
Right.
If you in his circle, you taken care of. If you're not in his circle, guess what?
You screwed.
No love at all. And I don't understand why they say we the people ain't stepping up enough to go ahead and do what we need to do to make sure he's not in office. We can't keep sitting around saying what he doing, what are we doing to try to get him out?
Right.
We got a governor that's not doing us no good.
Right.
So he's not doing what's right. Why we don't send letters to the president? Everybody got a boss. Get rid of him.
Right.
He's not doing white no good nor black.
Right.
He ain't taking care of nobody but a small circle. What I want to understand why they would talk to me and say, well, you got a jaywalking ticket. Well, hell, you ain't saying nothing about the governor stealing all that money and have to pay back $1.7 million and became the governor.
Right.
If you're not going to talk about what he did wrong, please don't look at me.
Well, that is Broadway, y'all. And this has been The Spot right here on SoFloRadio.com. We appreciate you for checking us out. I'm going to continue my shout-outs because I have been getting the paperwork from the people. And I got to give a shout out to y'all in Germany. I see that y'all been listening, as well as Africa, New Zealand as well. So I definitely appreciate you checking out the old shows that are on SoundCloud. You can catch all the recent shows we had. And, of course, you can catch them right here on SoulFlowRadio.com. We got archives and all that for you to check out. I am one Jack Frost coming across your streamline. That guy over there, he's Broadway, and we appreciate you. Look forward to you next show right here on the spot on SoulFlowRadio.com.